Hey everybody, I'm Alex and I'm here with Michael, one of the developers of Bound, a PS4 exclusive
Yes,
game.
it's exclusive.
So we're going to be playing through one of the levels of Bound. Uh, Tell me a little bit about what's going on here in this level.
So this is one of the levels of our game. Um, so basically, the thing, another unique thing about our game is that you decide which level to play first and which level to play last. So I can't tell you actually if it's a first or the second or the last level. It's up to you to decide. And because of that, there are several things that I will try to show you, which,
Okay.
which might be interesting.
So this game isn't linear necessarily.
It isn't in terms of like the pure gameplay and in terms of the story. So there are like 120 ways to pass the game, and it will like influence the story. But it's not like in this way that you have like 120 combinations and like choices in the end, but rather it's something that the story will unfold in a different order, so you will have a different view on that. And the idea behind it was like it came from like Journey, because this is the game that I really like, and I was playing it in various times. So when it on launch and when there was like a PS4 version, and I thought that it's different because of the multiplayer factor, but it looked the same. So what I wanted to do is to figure out the way for replayability. So when you will play Bound in 3 years or maybe in 10 years, then it will look not completely different, and you may have like a different view on the story. And this is because you're like aging, and there are some movies that when you were watching, like when I was watching as being a teenager, I had a completely different view on them, and when I was watching them recently, my view completely changed. So this is something that we wanted to have here. It's based on the order, the view on the story changes, and also like in time, it may change because you are changing.
And I heard you say once in one of the demos I was watching that you think this game might be good as adults only because
Yes, but I can elaborate more on that, because we were making playtests on a lot of people, and I think that's it's hard to say it's like a good game for everybody, but not adults. Like they will have different view on the story. Like adults will have different view on the story, and like teenagers will have different view on the story. And I hope that the view will change in time. So when the teenagers will become adults, then they will have like also different view on that. So yeah, I've changed that. But the story is like serious one. It's like a major one.
And how exactly is the story going to be presented? Because I noticed in another level that I was playing
Mhm.
that there was a sort of cutscene that was more realistic. That you actually saw faces.
It was a memory.
Okay.
So yeah, we call them memories, and this is like one way that we told the story. And based on those memories, you will be able like to get into it. So it's pretty non-linear, and this is like the chunks. It's not like a game where the story is being told, but it's like the game where the story is being shown. So that's a little difference, and also like a big difference. And yeah, and the very important thing about the story is that we can't tell anything about it, because when you will know actually what's going on before playing it, then it may not trigger. And we had like a playtesters that were like very emotionally connected to the character, and mostly because they didn't know what they will be playing. So right now we can see like the ballerina dancer, a character in an abstract world, but it's not a game about dancing.
But the movement is very dance inspired.
Yes.
And it's like I noticed, defending yourself, you dance.
Right. It's like what we call it's like a resolution to problems. Like the dance is a solution for problems. And those things that stop you in the game, we call them fears. So here, for example, is a fear that we call a steam, like a steam. It looks a little bit different than regular steam, but we call it like that.
Okay. And what was the inspiration for making the movement as dance-based as it is?
So it's pretty simple, actually. So we had a character done before, and we had like the system of walking around, but we got this like really harsh feedback that okay, so you get it working, but it looks like a character from a game, and it's like we are making a game and it looks like a character from the game. It's like what's going on? And actually it's a sad truth in that currently there are so many games, like hundreds of games released every day. So you need to find something unique to like to be visible, and then we discovered that when we so the idea for the dancer came from my friend who sent me like a video clip with a dancing girl, like a contemporary dance, and I said it's like, wow, from the ways how she moves, it completely matches the character in terms of the story. So we should like pursue that direction. But it was like not the thing that we started from. So we didn't start from the dance. But it's a nice addition. If you think about the dancing characters in games, what came to my mind after doing that is that I won't say that there is no single game with dancing character, but there's like maybe a dozen of that in terms of the history of all gaming, and like dancing is with people from the very beginning, so it's quite weird. And I think it's like how many things we didn't discover and put into the games that can be discovered. Mm-hmm. Like the ideas are like on the ground, you just need to pick them up.
So how do you unify all those different ideas? If like, because there are a lot of very disparate inspirations in this game that I'm already noticing, from the visual style to the sound.
Yes, we were thinking about it, and it's mostly like by brute force, like trying a lot of things and throwing them out. It's not like we are start from beginning. We actually don't work with the concept artists except for the characters. We were mostly making concept with programming and code. And the idea for like the shattering world, like how it looks, it came from like a demo scene, like the pieces around. But actually, what we were doing is I was creating this character movement, and asked my friend to like visualize the physical boxes that I walk on. And when he did it, I asked for shadows to know where I'm going. And then I said like, wow, it's actually, we are pretty close because it starts to look okay. And then we started to shatter those boxes because it was like the idea for the story that the world gets smaller and smaller and smaller in time. Like it dissolves in front of your eyes.
So the world will change?
Yes, it will change, and this is something that I plan to show you after finishing this level.
Okay. Wow, yeah. Could you talk a little bit about the art style, because this is like very distinctive?
Yeah, so this is the art style is very inspired by modern art and demo scene. In demo scene in terms of programming, and modern art in terms of like a palette, a very minimalistic style. For example, those lines that are here on those blocks. And this is like the taken from the art movements like suprematism, concretism, and neoplasticism. And each level is connected to each of those movements. So in this case, we have those stripes, which are resembling, but we also have seen a couple of statues made from blocks. So we tried to put something in each level which will be like distinctive, so you will be able to say it's like, oh, this is the level with that, and this is the level with that. Other than that, it would be like another blocky level, another level with cubes. So we had to do that.
I actually showed one of your previous demos, a video of it, to my friend who's an art historian, and she said that it looks like if you stuck a game designer in an art museum and then told them to recreate it as, you know, a video game. Is that something that you're going for?
Yeah, I've already got contacted by one museum to put it in there for an exposition, which is really nice. And why not? It's like visual style is still under like evolution. It's still like going on, and like VR will probably show a couple of new styles that will appear because they will be created in VR. So yeah, it's evolutionary. I think that there's a lot of styles that can be created. Okay, so we've reached like a moment in the game where we are trying to show the next piece of the story.
So the story is conveyed through subtle images like that.
Yeah, also by that, but here's another memory scene.
Okay, so what's going on here?
Yeah, it's for you to like explore and figure out like the facts, like connect the characters, like make connections between us, like what's the relations between them, and it's mostly like that. I will tell you that you're just playing a chunk of the game, so it will not like spoil your experience, but trust me, it's not like a super esoteric artsy game that it's really hard to dig into. We've made a lot of playtests, and playtesters like exactly knew what the story was about. So
can you talk at all about how these play into the game? Like how?
I don't want to.
Okay.
It's because it will destroy the experience for players, and this is the only way that they can connect emotionally to the story if they don't know what they're going to experience.
Okay. Yeah, this is wildly different than when I was just playing. It's first person, slow movement. Everything is sort of, you know, solidifying around me as I move through it. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this plays into the other part of the game.
Mm-hmm. And how did you like it in VR, this part?
Oh yeah, it was really cool.
Because there's like a camera movement in first person perspective.
But yeah, that actually brings up something else I want to ask you about. This is coming to PSVR. Could you talk a little bit about your decision to bring it to VR?
Yeah, so it's coming on the PSVR launch, and it will be like a free patch on when it will be launched. So the idea behind like making the VR version like came from very beginning, and so I was thinking that it could be done like the third person camera in VR. It's something that it's possible. Oh, okay. And it works, and I think it's like a very generic solution that what we do with camera. So like the other games, I think like for example Uncharted and other TPP games can be easily transformed into VR. Yeah, and I'm really interested in how people will see it.
And is there anything different?
Okay, I will like stop here.
Okay.
This is the moment that I wanted to take control.
Okay.
So we've played through the whole level, and I would like to show you how this level will look like when it wouldn't be chosen as the first one. So you can choose the levels in a different order, but the time moves like in a normal fashion. So the time changes, and right now there will be rain falling because it's like in a different place of time. But it's exactly the same level. So we can see that the monster is coming in the same way, but it looks completely different. It has a different palette. It has like a different destruction structure. So right now the world is dissolved even more, and it's like it disappears. But what I would like to show you right now is the other part of the game. Before that, we were talking mostly about the story, the aesthetics, and we have a puzzle in the game, because you went through the level very easily, like there was no challenge at all. But actually, for me, puzzles are something that I don't like if I know them. So if I played the puzzle before, it becomes a work. So you see the puzzle and it's like, oh, okay, I need to put it here and here. So we are making work. So we're thinking of how to make a puzzle that will be actually interesting in terms of, that will be unique. And the funny thing is that we don't know the actual solution for it. So we want players to discover it.
Do you think it's solvable?
Yes, it is. It's just a matter of like a lot of playthroughs and like statistics, and we'll see. I think they will solve it pretty quickly. So you've seen that I was like wall jumping here to find another path of that level, and now I will show you the move that you didn't discover, and we didn't show it on purpose. So there is like a small hint in the very first tutorial level about that, because there are places that you can't jump normally. You need to discover the wall jumping. And right now you can like move in the different parts of the game. So for example, let's try to do here, go here. And I can't go there because there's this theme that you've already seen, and it holds the passage. So I won't be able to go here. But we will go back to that point later on.
So you can get there. You just
I can't get there, but I will show you the other places that I can get. Okay. So we will pass the monster right now. Okay. And reach that point where there was trees that were like holding you. And right now the trees are like become let's say like overcome, and they will disappear and will no longer hold you.
And what triggers that?
That triggers like the order of the levels. Okay. So in every ever you're like taking care of one of your fears.
So playing the levels in different orders will open up different passages.
Exactly. Okay. And right now we have get rid of the trees. So let's try to move here. Okay. But the steam is still there. And there are trees. And if you will walk over here, then you will discover that there were trees, but they are no longer here. Ah, I've missed. Okay. And whoa, that's the tricky one. One more time. Maybe I should do it more from here. Got it. Ah. One thing to notice is like when you die for the first time, like when you fall for the first time, then the animation of falling is pretty long and it gets shorter and shorter, so the penalty for falling... Ah, got it. Oh, no, 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 no. I will find another passage to do it. I'm so bad at it. Please. Okay, but that's... Yes, got it. Okay, let's go here. And we are on top of that level, which moves us to the spheres. And Actually, you have to go around this whole building to get here, and I will just walk on those spheres. So the spheres is something that I was always missing in games because I like to play Mario Galaxy. We can jump from sphere to sphere. I'm not too good at it, but if you are good, then you can really jump very fast from one to another. Hop.
So there are very different difficulty.
Yes, and if you will go through the spheres, like there's a lot of spheres, then you will cut the level in half. But I will show you another version of the same level. If you will choose the level as the last one, then the other fields will disappear. And right now we won't have the steam which was holding us in the very beginning. So other passages will open.
So the version of the level that I played, would that have been if you had picked it at the beginning?
Yes. So everything was on.
Okay.
So it's not like, everything was locked practically. But there are still shortcuts that you can use even if the level was chosen as first. So for example, you can make some things that we call sequence breakers. So sequence breakers are actually trying to omit the whole cutscene that's in the level. You can go around it so the cutscene won't appear, but these are the shortcuts that are the hardest to find. Okay. So we are going through here.
And are there some cutscenes that only trigger if you go a certain way through the level?
Yes.
Okay.
But normally if you will pass it through the first playthrough, you will get through them all. They're really hidden well. Okay, so let's jump here. And we can go here. And because of that, we can completely skip the monster. Over here. So he escaped. And here will be another tricky jump. Okay, got it. All right. Okay, let's try it again. So basically, this time this shortcut works because I've removed like all the fears.
Okay.
Okay, got it. Try to do it slowly this time. Okay. And there's a ladder. Well, I will show you that we are on top of the place where the trees were. So another ladder has been opened here. And now there are perils that we're also holding, but they're gone now. So right now we've reached the end of the level. So we cut it down completely. And there is like 120 combinations to pass through the game, and we don't know which one is the fastest. And we don't know, it's like, because we didn't pursue it. We wanted to leave it to the players, but we know that they are balanced. So when we were trying to find the path that it's like outstanding from the others, then we were balancing it. And I think they are nicely balanced. So I hope that the players will find it out.
Thanks, Michael. That was a few levels of Bound, or a few playthroughs of the same level of Bound. Is there any release date for Bound yet?
Yes, it's 16th of August, and you can pre-order it now in the Play promotion, together with other games. And the PSVR patch will be available on PSVR Start on 13th of October.
Great. Thank you very much. That was really cool. And keep an eye on GameSpot for more about Bound in the coming months.